So getting fit for fertility really means that your best body composition in order for the body to ovulate. So it's really more about hormone balancing and looking at the right ratio of, body fat percentage to muscle mass. And looking at things like our insulin sensitivity, how our body regulates blood sugar levels, and all of these pieces fitting together, influencing our sex hormones and making sure that we can actually ovulate and ovulate a good, healthy egg. So, this includes having our follicles mature properly. So, being fit for fertility, it really depends on your starting point and what your body type is. So, for example, you might be really lean and really athletic, and you might be the type of person who overtrains or is trying to train for something, like a marathon or a triathlon. And so, oftentimes, these types of women are really lean in their body composition, so they have really little amounts of body fat compared to a very high amount of, dense muscle mass. And this might seem like this person's really healthy because they exercise so frequently and they have such a low body fat percentage. But for fertility, we actually want to see a higher body fat percentage. And this is all relative. So when I say a higher body fat percentage, I mean, a minimum of 18 or 19% and as high as, around 24% body fat. So this is kind of like our sweet spot range in where we want to be, where the body absolutely needs to be in order to ovulate. So that would be a case where we actually want to put on a couple pounds of a little bit more of like healthy body fat. You may also have the body type where we call it skinny fat. So the body looks thin and skinny, but when you actually break down the body fat percentage to the amount of muscle mass on that body, it's actually it's higher, it's skewed higher in regards to body fat than it is muscle. So this is someone who can still have too high body fat percentage, but it's because they have really, really low muscle mass. So in this case, we want to kind of tip the balance a little bit. We want to actually increase body weight a bit, but by increasing muscle mass. And we know that muscle weighs more than fat, so we have to keep that in mind. And it's also a reason why I really dislike the term weight loss, because in some cases we might be looking at an overall number of weight loss in pounds of the body, but we're really looking ultimately of having that, decrease in if you're overweight or have too much fat, body fat percentage on your body, lowering the body fat. And if you have too little body fat, you actually want to raise that quite a bit into that sweet spot, into our range of 18 to 24%. So each body type comes with its own different goals that we have to keep in mind. For someone who is obese or in the higher kind of BMIs of being overweight, then yeah, we do want to lose weight. But we're looking at typically decreasing body fat percentage. And this is all measurable. We do this in our office using a body comp machine. So it'll tell us, what does muscle look like and what does the body fat look like in an individual. And we can also tell parameters such as, how hydrated you are and things like that. So we kind of put all these pieces together into creating the perfect individualized plan for you. And as far as what we're looking to do. So, and this isn't meant to be something that's daunting. We're not making huge drastic changes. These are ultimately, hopefully, just little lifestyle changes that can improve the body's ability to ovulate. So even in someone who is obese, even as little as 5% body weight can actually induce ovulation, which is pretty big. On the flip side, for that person who is extra lean and really into athletics, we also want to curb how much they're actually doing physically. The idea is that we don't want to overstress the body and overstress your system through exercise. So, for example, if we have someone who's training for a marathon or who's a regular runner, we really want to cap the number of kilometers that you're doing per week. Because too much cardio on the body, too much exercise can actually be a stressor as well. So, for example, if you're out there running for, say, 2 hours at a time, you're really doing, you're you're loading a good amount of stress onto the body, and this can work against you for fertility. Doesn't mean that it's bad for you or that it's bad for your health. A lot of people train and do really well with this type of exercise, but we're talking specifically for trying to get pregnant. So that's where we want to cap it, because the idea is not to increase cortisol levels above and beyond normal functioning, right? And of course, diet plays a role into all of this as well. So we want to keep that in mind, especially in patients who are overweight looking to lose a bit of body fat, is, diet plays a huge role in this. So we have to be able to manage blood sugar levels and improve insulin sensitivity. And so we're going to kind of pair our physical activity with a diet to really address that. Now, when it comes to creating an exercise plan, there's a couple different rules I keep in mind. With a lot of women, we do really well with strengthening and body work type of exercises. A lot of resistance work does really well for us because it helps us to, when you feel really strong, but it helps us to build muscle. And that's kind of like our best friend when it comes to exercise is, building that muscle. So things you can easily do are, using free weights at home. If you don't own like light dumbbells or anything like that, you can use soup cans or water bottles. And if you don't feel like using free weights, if that doesn't seem like something that interests you, then just use your own body weight, simply doing and holding a plank, doing a push-up, something where you're using your own body's weight as its resistance. You can also buy TheraBands or kind of like resistance bands, and that can help as well create that resistance and make you use your muscles. You'll feel great because you'll feel stronger, and there really is something to that about women feeling stronger. I think we often say when it comes to cardio, you can get a runner's high. I believe you can get a high from any type of exercise. As another example, my husband just put in a TRX into our living room, so we literally have it suspended in our living room, and I have to say it's pretty amazing. And the whole idea of it is using your own body weight and lifting your body weight to target different muscle groups and to get stronger that way. So it's pretty neat. But, you have to find what you love to do. And the idea is just balancing the cardio with the weight work, with the kind of relaxation, the stretching, the yoga. And even with yoga, there's so many different types of yoga that you can do. I think across the board, yoga helps to decrease stress and helps to manage anxiety. But depending on your intensity of yoga or the type that you do, you can really target different areas. So, for example, an average, just regular, easygoing yoga class might just be good for stretching out, for opening up your hips, opening up your shoulders, helping to correct really bad posture when we've been sitting in a chair kind of hunched over all day long. You can also do, like a power flow yoga, which is a bit more intense and a little bit more of a cardio with strengthening together. And you can also just do kind of more of a relaxed yoga where you're getting a bit of strengthening through poses. So you're having to hold a pose, say like a lunge, like we do in Warrior 1 or Warrior 2, or Crescent pose, and you're holding that lunge, so you're still strengthening those muscles, but you're not moving through or flowing through them as quickly. So you don't have quite the same cardiovascular kind of output there, but it's great for strengthening, your quads, your glutes, all of those great big muscle groups. So, I tend to say to patients, find what you love to do. If you like to run, then that can be your cardio for the week, but we're going to cap how many kilometers you put on or how long you're spending doing that cardio, that running per week or per session. Most of the days that you're going to be spending exercising, I recommend doing that resistance or strength work. And you will really notice a difference with it, as opposed to just doing cardio, 6 days a week. So it's all about that balance, but finding what you love. It might be, an online dance class that you want to take, or, workout DVDs that you have stashed away that you haven't really looked at in a while. Or if you don't have videos, you can always just go to YouTube. There's a lot of resources out there and they're free. Some of my favorites are Body Fit by Amy. She's fantastic. She has a workout video for basically kind of every stage, beginner to advanced, and she has videos for every type of equipment that you have at home, whether it be a kettlebell, free weights, no weights, the TRX, whatever it is that you have at your disposal at home to work with, there's a video for that. And as far as when it comes to yoga, I love Yoga with Adriene. I feel like she really is a great instructor, and there's just so many videos out there that you can choose from. Me personally, I'm a bit of a workout video junkie. My mom and I used to love ordering workout videos off of like infomercials and Beachbody and things like that. And I also have all of her workout videos that she did when I was a kid from the 80s. And basically they're on DVD now. So I actually own those and do those as well, which is a lot of fun. So it really comes down to what you enjoy doing. Because if exercise is a chore, you're not going to want to do it. And the whole idea is to not make this a chore. Make it something that's part of your self-care, your downtime. What's going to make you feel really good during that day, and just doing it, fitting it in somehow. Wake up, a half an hour, 45 minutes earlier each day to fit that in, or do it at the end of your day when you just need to decompress a bit. Or anytime really, whenever it's convenient for you. And that's why I love working with patients individually, is we get to find, when is the best time for you to work out based on your schedule and your routine? What do you like doing? And can we kind of stagger and fit in both, a little bit of cardio with mostly weights and resistance work, and a little bit of, either stretching or yoga or something that just kind of helps you to kind of, again, open the body a little bit more, relax, and kind of prime yourself for your next workout. Because we really want to avoid injuries. This isn't the time to, make yourself into an athlete or overtrain or, go from 400 pounds down to 100. That's not what we're trying to do. And in fact, you can do a lot more damage by losing a great amount of weight really quickly. Because what it does is we're breaking fat cells for energy. And fat cells also store a lot of other things with them, and they can ultimately store toxins. And if we break open too many fat cells all at once, you might be releasing some toxins into your system as well, which in small amounts the body can handle. That's what the point of our liver is to detoxify elements in our bodies. But if you kind of overflow flood the system with too many toxins at once, then it becomes a bit of a burden. Your liver can't keep up with it quite fast enough. So again, you can do a little bit more damage by losing too much body fat too quickly, which is why kind of a slow, controlled, and manageable fitness kind of protocol is always needed here. So we have to take some care in defining the best program for you and what that looks like. I hope this kind of sheds some light a little bit more on what it means to be fit for fertility, because again, the idea is not just across the board weight loss. It's about having the healthiest body composition for ovulating, because your hormones need a specific kind of balance for them to actually work properly. And when you go into, say, like a starvation mode, when you don't have enough body fat, your body really thinks that you're starving because there's no backup energy reserves. If you blow through the glycogen stores in your liver and there's no fat cells to break down for energy, then you've got nothing left. And your body's going to tell you, like, this is not the time to get pregnant, because if something were to happen to us, there's no backup. There's no way to kind of put energy into saving that pregnancy. So the body doesn't ovulate when body fat is too low. So we just need to keep all of that in mind when talking about fertility. So again, I hope this kind of clarifies a few of those things here, where it really depends on your body type. And that's why I love helping individuals and working with you to find the best way to help your hormones work efficiently, help to manage your blood sugar levels, and make sure that you